Today, we're diving into the wild, creative, and, yeah, sometimes confusing world of modular synthesis. My goal here is simple: to give you a clear, step-by-step roadmap so you can get started on your own journey into sound. Let's do it.
So, if you've ever looked at a modular synth and just felt this mix of complete awe and total panic, you are not alone. That wall of knobs and cables and blinking lights can look absolutely insane. But trust me, there's a logic to it all, and it's way more accessible than you think.
So what exactly are we talking about here? Honestly, the best way to think about it is as a deconstructed synthesizer. Instead of buying an instrument that's all pre-wired in a box, you get to pick out all the individual parts, the modules, and then you decide how they all connect and talk to each other. And to help you get there, we've broken this whole thing down into 5 easy steps. We're going to start with the big idea, cover the essential parts, show you how to learn for free, guide you through building your first rig, and then, finally, send you on your way to start patching.
Okay, first up, let's talk about the big picture. Modular synthesis is really all about building an instrument that is 100% yours. It's a totally open concept way to think about sound.
Yeah, unlike a regular keyboard synth where everything is already connected for you, here you have total freedom. It's often called Lego for sound, and that's a perfect analogy. You use these patch cables to connect all the different modules, creating your own signal path from scratch. The potential is, well, it's pretty much limitless. Now, before you can build anything, you've got to know the parts, right? And the cool thing is, every synthesizer, whether it's modular or not, is built from just a few core components. Think of these as the basic words you'll use to build your sonic sentences. Everything has to start somewhere, and in synthesis, it starts with the sound source. That's the voltage-controlled oscillator, or VCO for short. This is ground zero, the very first step.
A really great way to think about it is this: the VCO is like the vocal cords of the synth. It just creates this raw, basic vibration, this fundamental waveform. On its own, it's not much more than a constant drone, but it is the source material for everything that's about to happen.
Okay, next up, you have to shape that raw tone. And that is the job of the voltage-controlled filter, or VCF. This module is all about sculpting the character of your sound.
This is where the magic really starts to kick in. By using a filter to cut out high frequencies or low frequencies, you can turn a really harsh, buzzy sound into something soft and gentle, or make a thin wave sound huge and bassy. The filter, in short, controls the timbre.
All right, so you've got a sound, and you've shaped its tone. But how do you control its volume? How do you make notes start and stop? That's where the voltage-controlled amplifier, or VCA, comes into play. Now, this is more than just a simple volume knob. The VCA is like an automated volume control that lets other signals tell it how loud to be and when. This is absolutely crucial. Without a VCA, your oscillator would just drone on forever. The VCA is what gives you distinct notes with silence in between.
Which brings us to our final key piece, the envelope generator, or ENV. This is the module that tells the VCA how to behave. It draws the shape of your sound over time, from the moment it starts to the moment it fades out. It's what makes a sound feel plucky and short, or slow and atmospheric.
Okay, you've got the theory down. Now, let's get practical. Before you even think about dropping any cash, you can, and you absolutely should, start messing around in a totally free virtual space. 2 amazing tools to get you started are Eurorack, which is this fantastic free software that perfectly mimics the hardware experience on your computer, and Ableton's Learning Synths. That's just a simple, interactive website that teaches you the absolute basics right there in your browser. No download needed.
So once you start getting the hang of things, you'll want to start planning. Modular Grid is an incredible website that lets you build your dream rack virtually. It helps you figure out space and power, all that stuff. And for any questions you have, seriously, the Modular Forum is the #1 spot to learn from a massive community of synth nerds.
All right, you've practiced in the software, you've done your research. Now for the really exciting part, putting together your first physical Eurorack system. And the key here is to start simple, by building a single, complete synth voice.
But let's get even simpler for a second. As this quote says, to technically make a sound, you only need one thing, an oscillator. Now, it's not going to be a very musical sound, just a drone, but it's a start. And it kind of demystifies the whole process, you know?
But to make that sound musical, you need that complete synth voice we were just talking about. And hey, would you look at that? It's made of the exact same building blocks we just learned about. You need a VCO for the sound, a VCF for the tone, a VCA for the volume, and an envelope or a sequencer to control it all.
So here it is, your first shopping list. First, you need a case with a power supply to put everything in. Then you just need one of each of our core modules, a VCO, a VCF, a VCA, and an envelope generator. And of course, a handful of patch cables to connect them. That's it. That's a complete, working musical instrument.
Now, a very, very important word of warning. Modular is a deep, deep rabbit hole. It is incredibly easy to get swept up in what people call gear acquisition syndrome, or GAS, and you can quickly find yourself buried in modules you don't really need. The best way to fight this? Be disciplined. Decide what you want your synth to do before you buy a single module. Do you want to make percussion, bass lines, weird textures? Start with a clear goal, set a firm budget, and build towards that specific thing.
And that brings us to the end of our roadmap. You get the concept, you know the parts, you have resources to learn for free, and you've got a clear plan to build your first system. So, now the real fun starts.
You've got the knowledge, and the path forward is clear. All that's left is for you to bring the creativity. So, the only real question left is, what sound are you going to create first? Happy patching!